Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ranking the Beatles. This is a series where I rank my least favorite to favorite song off of every UK Beatles studio release. And I've got some interest in going beyond that with some Beatles solo albums as well as compilations like the Past Masters and stuff like that. This has been a lot of fun. Something I've always wanted to do, something I've always had opinions on, but I've never actually documented it. So it will be interesting to see if this changes over the next few years. But for now, these are my favorite songs, or least favorite to favorite songs on each Beatles album. Today we're going to tackle the behemoth Revolver. Quite possibly the Beatles' greatest album of all time. This is the album where they really jumped from, well, Rubber Soul was a huge step from the previous albums, but this is where they really jumped into that psychedelia of the times. 1966, and actually kind of the pioneers of psychedelia. Released some excellent singles around the same time, such as Day Tripper, We Can Work It Out, Paperback Writer, and especially Rain. Those songs really, particularly Paperback Writer and Rain, I think really just dovetail nicely into this album. So like I've done in the past, I'm going to start with my least favorite song. There are 14 on this album, all original compositions again, and I will rank them until I get to my number one. So this is a tough one, just like Rubber Soul. Most of the songs in here are absolute masterpieces, but there are a few that I think deserve to be at the bottom. So for number 14, I have George Harrison's Love You Too. This is a sitar-based song, very raga, Indian-influenced. He, of course, was kind of a disciple of Ravi Shankar, and I'm not a huge fan of these songs. On Sgt. Pepper, there's another one, and when I rank that album, you'll see that probably gets a similar lower spot. But Love You Too is number 14. Number 13, Yellow Submarine. Every kid loves this song, right? I loved it. I've taught it. And I'm sick of it. And it's a Ringo lead vocal, so of course he's got the weakest voice, so it's going to go towards the bottom. Yellow Submarine. Fun sing-along song, and actually some really cool studio stuff, like in the bridge of the song, but it just gets annoying. Number 12, And Your Bird Can Sing. And I know a lot of hardcore Beatles fans love this song. I do love elements of the song. I love the twin guitars at the beginning. Some people said, I've heard it said that this twin guitar stuff on And Your Bird Can Sing really influenced groups like Thin Lizzy and Wishbone Ash, who then influenced some of the new wave of British heavy metal like Iron Maiden and stuff like that. That might be a bit of a stretch, but the song itself I just don't think is great. I do like that opening twin guitar dual lead thing, though. It was very cool. But something's got to go at number 12, and this is like a masterpiece of an album, so there it is. Number 11, Dr. Robert. Probably I could have put this at 12 because there are elements of this song that I don't like as much as And Your Bird Can Sing, but overall it's just a little more fun. Of course, this song is using this Dr. Robert character kind of like a Timothy Leary in their experimentation with LSD at the time. It's a fun one, but it's not a classic song by any means. All right, number 10, George Harrison's I Want to Tell You. Like this song a lot. I mean, it's way stronger than Love You Too. Fun song, but it's Revolver, so there are 9 songs that are better than it. But catchy tune, like it quite a bit. Number 9, Good Day Sunshine. If this isn't a feel-good song, I don't know what is. It's got kind of a Harry Nilsson bounciness to it. It's a fun song, but on a sophistication level, there are just several songs stronger than it. But it's a perfect little pop ditty. But like I said, 8 songs are better than it. That's how great this album is. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's so true. Revolver. I mean, even look at the cover art by Klaus Voormann, the Beatles friend that they met in Hamburg. Just awesome cover art. one of my favorite album art, period, by any group. Number 8. Number 8, I've got another Harrison tune, Taxman. I think this song is actually more fun to jam on and play than it is to listen to, but it's a great song. It's the best of the 3 George songs on this album, even though I want to tell you, I really love that song, but Taxman, I got to give it the nod. That's the strongest of the George songs on Revolver. So he's got 3 songs on this album, pretty impressive. All right, number 7. This one was tough. Okay. 7 up to 1 are masterpieces. I think the same was said for Rubber Soul yesterday that I ranked. There were 7 songs on there that were just classics. And honestly, I could move any of these around. 7 to 1, maybe 7 to 2. Number 1, I think, is pretty firmly my favorite. But this is a great song, and I know some people put this as their favorite. People, particularly people who like this kind of psychedelic period of the Beatles. But I'm going to put Tomorrow Never Knows as number 7. This is where they really get into the studio and experiment with sound effects, and just, I mean, the whole thing is just dripping with with psychedelia. But if I strip all that away, all the studio trickery and stuff like that, and just look at it for the song itself, yeah, it's probably number 7. And honestly, it could probably be lower than that if we're just looking at the song, the melody itself. But it's such a cool album track that, and it's put in such high regard. But then again, I'm not trying to be swayed by other lists, and I have not looked at other people's rankings of these songs. This is just simply my favorite songs, which may come across as contrarian, obviously, because some of these songs that I've ranked already would be in the people's top 3, a lot of people's top 3. All right, number 6, I'm Only Sleeping. This is an awesome John song, and this song uses some of the backwards guitar effects that they would use, later on in Sgt. Pepper. It's got a cool little bridge with "Take it along on the way, going by my window," and the time changes that happen in this. Love it, love it, love it, love it. But not as much as number 5, Eleanor Rigby. At one point, probably my favorite song on the album. Not today. Great use of George Martin orchestrations with the string quartet. Cool little song telling the story about 2 people that are lonely and forgotten, Eleanor Rigby and then Father Mackenzie. Cool how the song starts off with the chorus. I mean, it's a classic. Eleanor Rigby, number 5. But there's 4 that I like better. Number 4, Here, There, and Everywhere. It's been stated in several interviews by Paul McCartney that this is his favorite song that he ever wrote. And it is a beautiful song. It's got Beach Boy-esque harmonies throughout. It's got a cool little introduction. His vocal is just light and lifted like a feather floating through the air. I mean, it is a perfect song. It is an absolute beautiful song. It's a fun song to sing and play if you're able to do that. Here, There, and Everywhere. All right, top 3. Boy. So my plan is to, after I get done ranking these songs on every album, I'm going to go ahead and rank the albums too, from my least favorite to favorite. And as you can see from my enthusiasm on this album and the previous 2, Help and Rubber Soul, the cream kind of rises above the rest here. All right, number 3. She Said, She Said. It's a rocker. It's not necessarily pretty, but it is awesome. And anytime I've ever made a Beatles mixtape, or back in the 90s I was making Beatles mixtapes, or even playlists now, I always have She Said, She Said. Love the drumming, love the guitar riffing, love the harmonies. It's ominous, but it's not depressing. It's an awesome song. She Said, She Said. And it's a psychedelic song. And this album has moments of even though this is considered a psychedelic album by the Beatles, really, I mean, when you look at track by track, She Said, She Said Dr. Robert, more for the lyrics than for the music. Tomorrow Never Knows is the bona fide psychedelic song. I'm Only Sleeping with the backwards guitars. Yellow Submarine maybe because it's got the childlike qualities, but Taxman, how he goes, I want to, some of the vocal trickery going on there. But yeah, other than that, it's just like a pop album with beautiful pop songs. All right, number two, Got to Get You Into My Life. Wow, what can I say about this song? Uplifting. It probably was one of the first songs, if not the first major song that kind of influenced that porn rock, which would be a popular form of music with Chicago and the Ides of March and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And actually, this is not a love song. It's Paul talking about Mary Jane, got to get it into my life. But if you didn't know that from reading about the meaning of these songs, you would just think it was about a love song. Of course, Earth, Wind, and Fire does a fantastic cover of this too, but I think I prefer this. And the Paul vocal on this, oh my gosh, simply the best. Got to Get You Into My Life. It's my number two. So if you're doing the math here, you probably know which one is number one, and it is maybe a contrarian choice, but if you know this album inside and out like I do, I think some people would come to the same conclusion, that For No One is my favorite song on Revolver, and I don't think I could budge from this. 2 through 7 could swap around in any given day, but For No One is my absolute favorite. Might be my favorite Beatles ballad, period. Paul sings the heck out of it. That beautiful, like, French horn. It sounds a little high for a French horn. I think that might be from like just the recording. And I read about it at one point. It almost sounds like a flugelhorn, but I think it is a French horn in the middle. That beautiful soaring French horn part. It's kind of a Baroque pop song. It's a masterpiece. And if you don't know For No One, and it wouldn't be on any like Beatles Greatest Hits or the One album or the Blue and Red album, if you don't know For No One, it's song number 10 on Revolver. You need to listen to it. It will break your heart. The performance, the composition, the arrangement, the production, it's perfect. It's a perfect song. So that's Revolver, and that's my ranking. Starting with number 14, I'll run through them again. Love You Too, Yellow Submarine, And Your Bird Can Sing, Dr. Robert, I Want to Tell You, Good Day Sunshine, Taxman, Tomorrow Never Knows, I'm Only Sleeping, Eleanor, Rigby, Here, There, and Everywhere, She Said, Got to Get You Into My Life, and number 1, my favorite song on Revolver, giving it the red font, For No One. Thanks once again for tuning in. If you enjoy watching this video, go back if you haven't watched the other ones. And also, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell for new videos, and stay tuned for tomorrow when we tackle Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Thank you very much, and have a great day.